Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Mission 22 is dedicated to unite the country in the war against veteran suicide. Bringing our veterans home is every American's job. Ambassadors are creating impact in their community across the country. Mission 22 has comprehensive treatment programs for post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury at no cost to veterans. This is an American issue. No matter where you stand, there's a place for your support. Visit mission22.com to learn more.
Welcome to the Throttle Up Racing Network. Tonight we've got the season finale for the Gulf Coast IndyCar Series. We are at Chicagoland Speedway, and it's going to be a thrilling match tonight. We've got two heavyweights battling down to this final championship race. Scott Ramler 5 points behind Dalton Fredericks. And basically, whoever finishes ahead of the other is going to go home with the championship. As we were heading into the qualifying session. And as you saw those practice times just a second ago, Ramler slowest in practice, not something we're used to seeing out of him. Fredericks only 5th quickest. 10 competitors here tonight, so this is going to be an exciting race for the season finale. Now out on the track, Joe Hutchings. Also, Scott Ramler out to make his qualifying lap. Something we saw in practice a little bit was these drivers getting right down the apron, putting that left front tire down below that white line and going around sideways. So I expect that to be something we're going to see throughout the race. Fredericks out on the track as well. Ramler is going to be the first one to get his second lap done between Ramler and Fredericks. Let's see what kind of a time he puts down. Across the line, Ramler, a 25 No, a 24.96 for Scott Ramler, top of the board. There's Dalton Fredericks running the outside line, trying to get that speed up. Now Fredericks will start his qualifying lap. Top 8 have qualified. Still a couple left to make their lap time. Fredericks right around that bottom line. Comes up a little bit. That may hurt his time. Fredericks across the line. He'll move to third quick with a 25.02. An identical time to second place. Kind of expect that probably either Ramler or Fredericks has got a good shot at winning this race. And it may take a win to win the championship. A lot of patience is going to have to be displayed early in this race. This one's a little bit longer of a race than we're used to, but it is the season finale. Cody Bullock now out to make his first lap. Right around the bottom. Comes up off that white line a little bit through 3 and 4. Bullock 8th quick on his first lap. He and Grill's almost identical times. And on his second lap, 6th quick for the number 11 of Cody Bullock. Joe McAdory, the only driver yet to qualify right now. Scott Ramler, our pole sitter. As we wait for this session to be over and to go into the race. All right, looks like we're about to advance the session, head on into the race here. Scott Ramler will be the pole sitter. And what will be the final race of the season. And we're going for a championship here between Ramler and Fredericks. Fredericks will start third as we get ready to go through the grid. Drivers to the grid. Well, looks like Dalton Fredericks. Something happened. He'll have to start from the pits. But as we roll off, Scott Ramler will be your pole sitter. He'll start in the first place. Gary Wells outside pole, that number 33. Dalton Fredericks qualified third, but he's going to start from the pits here. Looks like he went to check something out and missed the grid. Andrew Mraz will be in the third place now. Curtis Klinger right behind him. Cody Bullock on the outside. Simon Grills the inside. Jesse Vaughn in that number 10. Joe McAdory in the 8th starting spot. Dalton Fredericks right now not on the grid at all. Joe Hutchings also back there. Something may have happened with their internet, and if that is so, then there's going to be a big issue for Fredericks to try and get his way back in this one. Pace car now into the pit lane as we're getting ready to go. Green flag racing for the championship, and we're underway here at Chicagoland. Joe Hutchings not in there. There comes Dalton Fredericks out of the pit lane. Looks like Joe Hutchings is not in the session right now. He may end up a lap down, but we go on to the backstretch. Scott Rambler out front. Klinger, a little bit of a connection issue. Blinks out for a second, but he's back. And maybe Fredericks was trying to be smart and just get away from this pack. Certainly going to be treacherous here in the early going. Curtis Klinger on the inside, trying to get by Rambler for the lead. 3 wide across the line. Mraz now out front. Klinger continues to blink down on the bottom. Klinger out front in the orange car. We'll see if that connection issue clears up as we continue. Bullock has now moved into second. Rambler has dropped off the back of the pack. He knows that all he has to do right now is beat Fredericks, and this championship will be his. So everyone else wheel to wheel between Bullock and Mraz for the second position as Curtis Klinger continues to lead here at Chicagoland. Mraz trying to get a draft. Bullock down the inside. Grills looking to take it 3 wide up the middle. Doesn't do it. Thinks twice. Now he'll roll the outside line. Bullock moves up for a second. Mraz going to try and get to the outside of him. Can't do it. A lot of action in this first 6. Battling hard. 200 lapper here tonight. Klinger leading more laps tonight than he's led all season already. Klinger came to compete, but Grills to the outside of the leader. Grills trying again, heading to the outside. Bullock and Mraz battle side by side for second. Fredericks trying to stay not too far off. We see Fredericks The pack way off in the distance. You can see on our track map just how far behind he is right now, having to start from the pits. These drivers racing hard for the lead. Mraz looking to the outside. Now with a run. He'll take it down the front stretch, wheel to wheel across the line. Mraz. Oh, it's Klinger. Goes around and they all wreck. Klinger got sideways. Mraz and looks like Gary Wells going to be the two drivers that have the most damage out of this. Klinger able to continue for a second, but he does wreck down into through right past the start finish line. Let's take a look at what happened. Get a little closer look. We see Klinger down on the bottom. You see him touch that apron. We talked about that in practice during the qualifying session. Drivers touching this apron. You see the orange car down the inside gets a little too low down below the white line where it's flat. And that causes that car to get sideways. Mraz nowhere to go. Right into the back of Klinger. That knocks the wing off, and that makes that car very difficult to drive as he comes up the track. Gary Wells now with nowhere to go. Everything happening so quick. These cars going so fast. Oh, and another car involved there. I think that was McAdory. Yeah, it was. Klinger had lost it, and McAdory was trying to figure out a lane, but just couldn't get it. Oh, just nowhere to go. Innocent victim there. So Klinger still out front, has not pitted. Looks like he's got a left front issue. He's going to have to come in and get that resolved eventually. And now he'll peel into the pit lane. So what that does is that brings Dalton Fredericks back up into the fold now. And he'll be in with the pack. Fredericks and Ramler about to be side by side on this restart. And lights off on the pace car. We're about to go green flag racing again. Jesse Vaughn in the number 10, now your leader. Pace car peels off and we'll go racing once again. And Vaughn with a slow restart as both Bullock and Grills go to the outside. Not sure what happened there for Jesse Vaughn, but he'll drop back to third. already on the attack, trying to get the spots back, though. Ball back up to second. It was Grills that time with the connection issue. He'll drop back. Bullock out front. Mraz now on the inside of Vaughn to try to get by. And he'll get a big run, but they're going to go 3 wide into turn 3. Vaughn couldn't quite get there. Mraz, he's already used that faster pair. Now they're 3 wide with Vaughn down on the apron. Oh, he loses it. Through the grass, will stay green for the moment. Let's take a look, as he was down on the apron trying to get a little bit of an advantage on the length of the straightaway. But as he comes back up onto the track, he doesn't hit anything. But he will lose the draft. Now 14 seconds behind. As Bullock and Mraz continue to battle. Grills in the 8 trying to put his name in the hat here for the win. 20 laps in. And already it seems to me like it's very difficult to pass. No one was able to pass Curtis Klinger earlier. And now proving difficult to get by Bullock. Once a car gets up there to the front, they just need some help. I don't know if it's drafting help or what they need to try and get around the lead car. But I think track position may play more of a factor than we were expecting here tonight at Chicago. And if you can get out front, it may be extremely difficult for you to lose the lead. They're looking to go 3 wide for second position. Joe Hutchings has finally been able to get his car out of the garage. And now out there 19 laps down as they go. Mraz almost tags the outside wall. And him having used his faster pair earlier, that may have been the end of his day if he would have hit the wall there. Grills now there, McAdory too. Grills straddling that white line. That's not what you want to do in these Indy cars. As McAdory's able to move into second now, he'll be the one on the attack for the lead. And Mraz into the pit lane. Not sure that was planned as he drives straight through. And he'll have a penalty here, I think. No, 4 tires. So not sure what that was about. Interesting. Brad still sitting in pit lane. Is Cody Bullock the leader? McAdor on the outside, Grills behind Bullock. Ramler hanging on to 4th. He and Fredericks battling for that championship. And they're both just trying to make it to the finish. And then they'll probably start racing a lot harder in those final 50 laps. Bullock continues to lead. I mean, we are 31 laps in and still yet to really see a pass for the lead here. So it's going to be interesting to see what someone has to do to get around the leader. Mraz still in the pit lane, so looks like his day is done. Seemed to have had some sort of issue. Grill's able to get into that second position, but what's it going to take to get around Bullock? I think possibly the only way to pass for the lead might be pit strategy. That lead car likely burning a lot more fuel. Grills up the track a bit, kind of scared McAdory, I believe, as he runs up into that third lane. Here comes McAdory again on the attack. Just cannot quite get there. Let's take a listen from that 312. Frustrating when you're that close, you just can't quite get it. And he has to drop back in line. So McAdory has to hold that third position. We'll take a look, go through the field. Cody Bullock right now the leader. And that number 11. And like I've said here in the last few minutes, it is difficult to pass the leader with this setup. Not sure why that is, but drivers get to the outside and just can't seem to be able to complete the pass. But Cody Bullock out front right now. He has led the last several laps. Simon Grills in second. As these drivers are reeling in the 31 of Joe Hutchings. Mraz back out on the track, 14 laps down. But Simon Grills proving that he's got speed as he's up to second. Joe McAdory in third. This might be an opportunity for a pass to the lead. Oh, and there they go. Simon Grills, Hutchings goes around and into the outside wall. And he will jump to the pit. Let's take a look at what happened. Joe Hutchings down on the inside in that purple and lime green car. Grills comes down. Hutchings seems to have been holding the line. May have come up a little bit, but Grills down a lane at least and right across the nose of Joe Hutchings. And that'll put him into the outside wall and will likely end his day. Almost ended it for Ramler. Almost made him take a faster pair. Let's take a look from Ramler's view. Just what he saw. We've got the leaders in the pit lane. Very close. Fredericks as well able to follow Ramler through. Everyone in the pit lane. Ramler there at the end of the pits. He was our pole sitter. Bullock off pit lane first. Ramler second. Dalton Fredericks third. Actually, McAdory will take that third spot. Bullock first. Ramler off in second. Joe McAdory third. Dalton Fredericks in the fourth position. Curtis Klinger will come out fifth. Jesse Vaughn, sixth position. Simon Grills in seventh. And Gary Wells will stay out, try and get back on the lead lap. Mraz is going to stay out as well to get one of his laps back. That'll put him 13 down. And Joe Hutchings now appears to be out of the race. Ramler and Fredericks both back in, kind of staying on the same strategy here. Ramler going to come in and top off with fuel. Fredericks going to do the same. Once again, these two racing for that championship. Whoever finishes ahead of the other is going to come home with the title. And those two will roll back out onto the speedway as we're getting ready to go green flag racing. We've still got a lap. Yes, lights still on the pace car for now. We're about to come around. Those lights will go off. We're almost a quarter of the way through this one, so this one going by pretty quick so far. Curtis Klinger move up to the second spot, but there goes Gary Wells and Andrew Mraz around the pace car to catch the tail end of the field. That'll put Gary Wells back on the lead lap. McAdory coming in to top off with fuel. Ramler, even though he pitted, that'll still be in fourth position, and Fredericks in fifth. The two guys who have led almost the entirety of this race, Cody Bullock in first and Curtis Klinger in second. So it'll be very interesting to see these two battling it out for the lead. Jesse Vaughn up to the third spot. Pace car peeling in, and we'll wait for Cody Bullock. Green flag. Vaughn already to the inside of Klinger. He'll go around cleanly. With a big run, he's going to try and take it to Bullock. I think it's going to take some side drafting to pull that 11 backwards. Ramler up the racetrack. And he's going to let Mraz, who's 13 laps down, driving through the field, is going to let him by. Mraz trying to get those laps back. Some sort of issue earlier put him 13 laps down. He's going to go 3 wide here. Trying to get those laps back the hard way. Vaughn in the middle there. He's the one racing for the lead. He and Cody Bullock. That help from Mraz might be enough to do it. Down the backstretch. No, he'll peel out and go 3 wide. Now Mraz down to the bottom. Trying to take a different approach. It looks a little bit too dicey up here for Ramler and Fredericks, who have dropped off the back. There they are. Mraz now down on the inside. We saw Vaughn do this earlier. It did not work out well. Oh, able to do it a little bit better. And Mraz, that's the first time we've seen the leader get passed. That was not for position, as Mraz is now 12 laps down as he goes around the leader. But now we've got a battle for the lead. Oh, and there goes Cody Bullock. Down across the apron, he'll spin around. Rambler goes around and they touch. That's damage to the 57 of Scott Rambler. And that is serious championship implications. And that rear wheel seems to be damaged. May not have to take a fast repair. Did you see that car bouncing on the racetrack? And he's going to have to try and go around and catch the lead pack. Does not want to fall a lap down here. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Cody Bullock. As he was down on the apron, he just put that left front tire down below onto the flat. And that's the second or third time we've seen that come into play tonight. Bullock around, and Rambler just seemingly out of nowhere gets loose. Don't know if he thought Cody Bullock was going to come back up the track or what. We'll take a look from his cockpit view. And I think right there when he saw Cody Bullock turn right up the racetrack, that made Rambler lock the brakes up, and he goes around and they slide into each other. Let's take a listen at full speed for what Scott Rambler saw. It was almost like his car cut off or something. Just went around and some damage on that race car. So Rambler able to get that repaired. Not sure if he was able to get it repaired or if he had to take the fast repair, but a rare mistake we don't typically see from Rambler there. With Fredericks going back in to top off with fuel, that'll put Rambler all the way back up to the 4th position even after the incident. And Mraz, he had passed the leader and got back to the lead lap, or not to the actually lap. He's now 12 laps down, but he did gain another one back, was 14 down at one point. So Mraz continuing to try to get some laps back. We'll see if he can get back to the lead or back around the leader to try and get another one of these laps back. Jesse Vaughn, our leader. Now Rambler will come back down. He and Fredericks to top back off with fuel. We'll take a look when the last time Vaughn pitted. I think he pitted on this caution. No, Vaughn did not pit, so everyone pitted there except for Vaughn. He knows how important it is to have this lead. But if we go green for a while, we know Vaughn made it 44 laps on the first stint. That's the longest anybody's made it so far, is 44 laps. Vaughn did not fire off well the last time he had the lead, so let's see if he'll take off this time a little bit better. Green flag, runaway again. Jesse Vaughn with a great restart that time. Actually gets quite a bit of a lead there. Grill's gonna run it back down. And will head to the outside. Does he have enough momentum? Side by side through turn 4. Gary Wells now back up to the 3rd position after qualifying in 2nd spot. Getting a lap down, now back onto the lead lap. And on the attack is Grills to the inside. A crossover move on Vaughn. Vaughn back top side. Side by side into 1. Vaughn not only trying to attack the 8 of Grills, but trying to defend against the 33 of Wells. Both Ramler and Fredericks again have dropped off to the back of the field. Bullock chooses to back out. Here comes Mraz again. Mraz going to take another look. Mraz knows if he can get out here, get around Grills, and then maybe on the next stop stay out, let everyone pit, there's a chance he could get 2 positions or 2 laps back with 1 caution. That's what he's trying to do. He's going to look to the outside. We've not really seen this outside move work very well. You really need someone to stay with you in the draft. I think it could work, but we see the drivers who are in 3rd pushing for a 2nd and then move to the outside to try and take it 3 wide. We haven't really seen 2 drivers work together to try and pass the inside car, but there it is. Mraz back out front. Now 11 laps down. He's gained 3 of them back. And that puts Jesse Vaughn back into the lead. Now he's going to try and pass around the outside. We've not seen this work all race. We've just seen it work for the first time. And now Vaughn getting close to making it work again. Klinger with that connection issue right in the middle of the racetrack. Oh, so close. Vaughn has to back out of it. That puts Simon Grills back into the lead. Klinger all the way out to the 3rd lane. Trying to get a run down the front stretch. Vaughn straddling that apron again. able to save it. Has to get out of it big time, though. McAdory a little sideways. Grills continues to lead. The battle right now for second. Klinger on the outside. McAdory down low. McAdory to the top side around Grills. Not quite. Grills down there with Mraz, just trying to stay in that slipstream. I think if I was Grills, Mraz would be my best friend right now. McAdory now slipping backwards. Vaughn goes by on the inside. Tries to take a big run to the outside, but not enough. Oh, he had Grills touch. Vaughn's able to save it, but Klinger in the outside wall. No caution. We continue to race. Debris on the racetrack. Don't think that's going to bring out the caution. But Curtis Klinger now will have to come in and take repairs. And that's going to be tough to come back from, but he'll head down the pit lane. Simon Grills still out front. McAdory on the attack. These two kind of out by themselves along with Mraz, who is 11 laps down. Gary Wells all the way back here in third. Ramler right behind him. Jesse Vaughn drops all the way back to fifth through that exchange. And it looks like somebody's having some issues there. Gary Wells with some connection issues. And there's Fredericks, currently in the 6th position. And he's only really racing Ramler today for that championship. Cody Bullock all the way back here. He's dropped off the back of the pack. He may have lost that draft and now running in the 7th position. Just trying to stay out of trouble for now. A little bit of a side drive. McAdory's got the nose out front. McAdory back up on the top side. He goes around and he will take the lead. He's down straddling that apron. That's not what you want to do. McAdory out front. Simon Grills will drop back to second now. That car in the lead of this group is Mraz, 11 laps down. McIntyre trying to pass by Grills. Does the smart thing and just fills that gap. It's so difficult to pass the lead car. I think Grills understands that, and he'll drive back into the lead now. Another lead change here in Chicagoland. 81 laps in of 200 here in the championship race. McIntyre now slides back to the second position. Wells is now caught the front group. Fredericks has made his way around Rambler. And now he's trying to reel in the front group. Oh, as Gary Wells gets a little tight down into turn one. And Klinger still in the pit lane. Took his fast repair earlier, getting all that damage repaired now. Frederick's not really able to catch this lead group. Or maybe just not wanting to. Grills continues the lead. I think Mraz hoping for a caution. And this is really setting up to look like a long green flag run. Everyone out there in a single file line. We'll take a look here at the pit strategy. 30 laps since Wells pitted, 31 laps for Grills. Everyone right in that 31 to 29 lap range, except for Vaughn, who's been out there for 43 laps. We've seen our longest stint so far was also Vaughn at 44 laps. So we'll see how much further that these drivers can go on fuel in a long green flag run. Sometimes those green flag pit stops break up these groups. That may be exactly what we need to really get this championship battle kicked off between Rambler and Fredericks. As McIntyre on the attack for the lead. Grills up the track. Can he hold it? Grills continuing to use that Mraz number 28 as a slipstream down the front stretch puts him back into the lead. McIntyre not going to give up though. Jesse Vaughn will be the first one to have to pit for fuel. And we're going to be watching at what lap he pits. If he can make it to lap 100, then he should be able to make it on one stop from there. That would be over 50 laps on a tank. Not real sure just how far they can make it. Almost a halfway, Simon Grills, Joe McAdory up front. Where can McAdory make his move? The outside lane just hasn't been strong enough. We saw Mraz go around the leader earlier to get a lap back down on the inside on the apron across the front stretch. Vaughn tried that earlier as well. Did not work out as well for him as he went spinning through the grass. Oh, right there, Grills had to give it up as he gets that left front down on the apron, and now McAdory is going to take the lead away, and he'll move to that inside line. And if I was him, I would be sticking right behind that Andrew Mraz, number 28. Tires may be becoming a little bit of an issue. As you see these drivers tight in, they wash up through the corner, and then on corner exit, it looks like they're turning a little more than they're used to, and they jump back down to the inside. There goes the 10 of Jesse Vaughn now into the pits. Did not make it to lap 100. Let's see. Vaughn made it 53 laps, some caution laps in there. So he will be cutting it close on fuel. He's going to come out here likely not in the middle of the draft. So I think Jesse Vaughn may need a caution to try and make it to the end of this one. Everyone else looking like they'll probably be pretty good. As we've now reached halfway, McAdory in the lead, Grills second. Gary Wells in the third spot, right behind him, our two championship competitors, Dalton Fredericks and Scott Ramler. In the fourth and fifth position, Cody Bullock off the back of the field right now, just trying to get some laps in. As Jesse Vaughn now out from his pit stop, I think he may have had a speeding penalty as he'll drop 3 laps down. Not what Jesse Vaughn wanted to happen there. But Jesse Vaughn got his work cut out for him. But here in a few laps, everyone else is going to have to pit. Everyone just trying to make it. Look at the pit strategy one more time as there goes Mraz into the pit lane. So Mraz had been out there 47 laps. Everyone else 47, 48 laps. So we're thinking within the next 2 to 4 laps, everyone's going to have to come in and pit. Grill's trying to attack on the outside, McAdory down low. Grills wants to be the leader when pit stops occur. It's just impossible to pass down on the outside. And here come our 2 championship competitors. Starting to put some laps together. Grills back to the outside, side by side into turn 3. And there goes McAdory. He's going to head to the pit lane. And that was a very early entrance. That may hurt him on time. Simon Grills will now be back out front. Must just take a long time to fuel these cars. The 10 of Vaughn. He's must have had a penalty. He's back in. Mraz still in the pit lane getting service to his car. Wells able to get around Simon Grills for the lead. These drivers well over 50 laps now, 53 laps for our top 2. And they're going to have to pit within the next lap or 2. And they're both going to come in this time around. And that puts our championship competitors back out front. McAdory only 1 lap down. Vaughn now 5 laps down after a penalty. These two have been back there saving fuel. With them able to go longer than everyone else, they're going to be able to use a different fuel mapping and probably have a little more power here towards the end, as some of these drivers are going to have to save fuel. Gary Wells comes out of the pit lane in the lead of the second group now. Fredericks will now pit into the grass. Don't lose it, Fredericks. This is a heavyweight bout. Rambler now in the lead, the lone car yet to pit. You got to think he's going to be very aggressive here. Looks like he had a better entry. He may gain some time there. Fredericks with a quick stop. Wells goes around. Cody Bullock now goes around. Rambler now heading out of the pit lane. Now within a second, Gary Wells. Rambler now with such a lead. Don't know if he's going to be able to hold it. He's running down this 10 of Jesse Vaughn. Fredericks drops off the back. Did not have the same entry as Scott Rambler. Rambler with an incredibly aggressive entry when he will pass several cars here to put himself into the lead. Fredericks all the way back in 6th. He's got his work cut out for him if he wants to hoist this trophy at the end of the race. McAdory up the racetrack. Fredericks knows it's still early, not pushing yet. Rambler already pushing it out to the lead. The second place car in line is the lap car of Vaughn, 4 laps down. Mraz had to go back to the pit, so his day likely over. Klinger out of the race in 9th place after leading a lot of laps and looking very fast early in this race. But right now, it's all about Rambler and Fredericks. And Fredericks needs to be careful here. Doesn't want to lose this draft. You can see how far behind he is. Rambler now working his way to the back of this group. And that's actually going to help out Fredericks to catch back up. So Gary Wells will now assume the lead. Six cars still out on the racetrack. Grills and McAdory battling side by side for second spot. Bullock there in 4th. Our 2 championship contenders off the back of the pack right now, continuing to just try and have a safe race. Rambler already involved in one incident earlier where he slid sideways and made contact with the spinning 11 of Cody Bullock. Grill's able to get by. Gary Wells now back to second. McAdory and Bullock will battle for third. Bullock to the inside, McAdory up top. Oh, and they come close. McAdory, another close call. He's already used his fast repair. Bullock has to back out of it. Another battle for second. Gary Wells and McAdory side by side. And just like that, another 25 laps in the books. Now 75 to go. These drivers setting a blistering pace. Grills continues to lead. Gary Wells and McAdory swap spots now. Wells up on the outside. McAdory in the orange and white down low behind Grills. Bullock working that outside line. Haven't seen a lot of people do that. Think he may be just trying to help Gary Wells, or potentially conserving tires, as we see Wells on the attack again. Gonna get a good run down the backstretch. Pulls ahead for a second, but that slipstream between Grills and McAdory overpowers the 33 of Wells. Oh, wheel to wheel as they go into turn one. Wells and McAdory. These two battling it out hard. Vaughn now out of the race in 7th spot. Mraz still sitting in the pit lane. McAdory with enough of a run to get side by side with leader Grills. Has the nose out front. Not going to be enough. You see the side-by-side battle behind Grills. Wells now looking to the outside. Not going to be enough. You see just how banked these corners are here at Chicagoland. McAdory chose to lift there to get back down behind Wells. Everyone single file, 135 laps in. And as I say that, Gary Wells to the outside of Simon Grills for the lead. It's just too difficult to get it done on the top side. You've got to try and find a way to the inside of that leader. There's been a couple of occasions where Grills has left the door open. You've just got to wait for that opportunity. McAdory gets to the inside of Wells for second. Wells, can he complete the pass? Not quite. A big run down the front stretch. Like I said earlier, I think he just needs some help from a car pushing him with the slipstream, and he's going to be able to complete that pass. He chooses not to go down, though. Wells clear again, but as they enter the corner, Grill's able to pull back alongside. Bullock, the teammate of Simon Grills, now coming up to work with Grills down on the inside line. Bullock chooses to back out again. Wells continuing to run that outside line. We are almost into the pit window to make it to the end of the race here within the next 5 laps. Wells drops down below the apron, goes sideways. You got to be careful getting back onto the track. And slows way down, and he's going to lose the whole group. That'll drop Gary Wells all the way back to 6th. A scary moment, Code Brown, for Gary Wells down the front stretch. Simon Grills will take that lead, and McAdory in 2nd. I don't know if we're going to get another caution for Wells to catch up. He's going to have to do it the hard way. With all these front drivers staying in a single file line, that's going to be extremely difficult for Gary Wells now to try and reel this front group back in. We'll take another look here at these stints. 36 laps for McAdory. He made it 51 laps. So it's going to be at least 14 laps or so for McAdory before he chooses to pit. That's going to be right around lap 160. Everyone's still taking it easy. These last 50 laps are going to really start ramping up the intensity. As you're going to have a couple of new drivers entering the chat, and that's going to be our 2 championship competitors, Scott Ramler and Dalton Fredericks. You got to know that they're just waiting, biding their time to get up here and race for this championship, but not only for the championship, but for a race win. I would not expect this championship race to go without both Fredericks and Ramler finishing on the podium. And neither one of them has really been up there tonight. Ramler led a few laps. Grills had that left front down below the apron for a second, able to get back up without incident though. Oh, and there was a big crossover, another one by McAdory. Inside, outside. Three-quarters of the race is over. We're down to the final quarter. If this were a football game, you know, that's when the intensity really ratchets up. The fourth quarter is when the game is on the line, and now we are entering that time, the last 50 laps of this race. Waiting for Rambler and Fredericks to make their move. And I think it's going to be after this pit stop. It's going to be coming up in about 10 to 15 laps. These drivers are going to have to make their final fuel stop. And this group continues to drive away from Gary Wells. Actually, Wells a couple of laps back to back. A tenth and a half quicker than our leader. Who's going to be the first one to pit? We're assuming it's going to be McAdory in the 312. Based off his last pit stop, should be pitting at lap 160 or 161. Oh, down to the apron. McAdory's got a lift. Got a little unstable there, and he's going to drop back as Rambler heads to the pit lane. He'll be the first one in this championship bout to take the first hit. Into the pit lane, Rambler. Fredericks comes down. Rambler with tires and fuel. He's down and away. And here comes Dalton Fredericks. These two trying to stay on the same strategy. Four tires and fuel. Now he's out, and the remainder of the leaders come in except for Joe McAdory. So everything that I said was going to happen, the exact opposite happens. I thought Fredericks and Rambler would be the last two to pit, but instead, they are the first two to pit. McAdory is the last one to come in. And that's important right there. Fredericks out front. Can Rambler get by? Man, with ease. We've not seen anybody do that all night long. Make a pass on the outside. Rambler just made it look easy. Back to the inside. Fredericks now out front. And this is what we came to see. This is worth the price of admission. Side by side, back and forth. The winner gets a championship. 40 laps remain. Crossover City up front. I don't think either one particularly wants to be the leader right now. That pit stop, they gained so much time, 5.5 seconds over the remaining drivers, and I think they might be close on fuel. I think that's why they're swapping spots back and forth. They may not have taken enough fuel. Both of them trying to be back behind the other to get an advantage from the draft. But as I say that, they are way faster than the remaining group. They're just one-on-one, and maybe these runs are just making this race incredible right now as Rambler back out front again. These two, we've not seen them really put the throttle down all day, and now with running lap times that are well faster than the remainder of the field. About 4/10 a lap quicker right now than the group that has been leading this whole race. Frederick's out front. Rambler not letting him go. The battle for third is a hot one. Grill's right now out front for that third position. McAdory right behind him in fourth, Cody Bullock in fifth, and Gary Wells in the sixth position right now. But this is the battle we're probably going to stay on the remainder of this race. As whoever finishes ahead of these two will be the championship. That's what I've been told. Rambler not trying to get back around Fredericks just yet. This really shows you just the speed with which they're driving around this racetrack. Dalton Fredericks out front. We're down to just 30 laps remaining, not only in this race, but in the season. The back group starting to get together and put some laps together. 3/10 a lap. They're catching the leaders. They'll have to continue to do that for the remainder of this race to even be within seeing distance of them. But they're back right at 6 seconds back. They were over 7 seconds behind. Fredericks and Rambler running a high line. That's a line we've not really seen run tonight. And I think it is costing them on time. I'm not sure if Fredericks wants Rambler to go back around, but now Rambler will go back around down to the inside. Didn't like the pace that Fredericks was putting on, but Fredericks back to the lead. These two seesawing back and forth. That's, for some reason, is really a lot faster. As a lot of that time they lost, they gained quite a bit of it back. $25 to go here in the Gulf Coast IndyCar Series. Our two championship competitors now ramping up the pace. Rambler out front. These two just swapping spots back and forth. This kind of seesaw action of back and forth has pushed them out another second ahead of Grills and McAdory, Bullock and Wells. I expect what we're seeing right now is going to be a totally different story inside of 10 to go. Fredericks back to the lead. Now Rambler back out front. I'm not sure I've ever seen this kind of I'm calling it a seesaw action where they're going back and forth, getting the run, taking the run, and the other one's just allowing it to happen. And I've seen drivers get together and push, you know, not necessarily in an Indy car, more NASCAR style, but stay tucked in together and run fast laps. But this seesawing back and forth is new to me, but it is working as all that time that McAdory, Grills, Bullock, and Wells had gained over the second and a half, 2 seconds, it's all lost now. Frederick's out front. Rambler waiting for his next move. Oh, and an incident back here. No caution. Gary Wells into the outside wall again. Still no caution. He'll have to stop. He is off the racing surface and will jump to the pit lane. He and Cody Bullock get together and both hit the outside wall. Now there's a caution. And I believe it's for Joe McAdory. Yep, touches that apron and around he goes. Did not hit anything, but the caution will come out and that will change things for this championship. Major implications as now the whole field will be back together and Frederick's in the lead right now. Rambler in second. We'll have to see. Does anybody come in and get a set of tires? Or is everybody just sticking with what they've got here? Both Fredericks, Rambler pits. Frederick stayed out, so Rambler pitted. And we'll see. Will he change to some soft grip tires? Doesn't, keeps the same tires on, but fresh ones. And he'll be starting in the third position. We see Frederick's 30 laps on his tires. Rambler will have a fresh set, so advantage to Rambler, and he's going to start in the third position. And really, with this few cars, it's not too late if Fredericks chooses to come in here and go and get him a fresh set. He would be starting in third, I believe. But he is going to choose to stay out. Oh, Rambler as Grills pits from second, and that will move Rambler back to second. So Rambler did not lose a spot, gets 30 lap fresher tires, going to be lined up side by side with Fredericks. Well, he'll be nose to tail, excuse me. Single file restarts. And it's going to be 12 laps. McAdory's back there in third. He's been aggressive. He wants to win the race. Simon Grills has led the most laps today. He wants to win the race. So this isn't just going to be between Fredericks and Rambler. Bullock right now sitting in the pit lane. He may go a lap down, as well as Gary Wells. Wells has some damage, but it looks like Cody Bullock will go a lap down here. Only our fourth caution of the night. This has been a very clean race. Really, the only cautions we've seen wasn't really contact. You know, two drivers racing hard and making contact. I think that was one of the cautions. But mostly it's been drivers getting that left front tire down below that white line, mainly on the front straightaway, off the banking and onto the flat. Gets the car very uneasy, and around it goes. Collecting other cars a couple of times, but some one car spins. We've seen that tonight. We did see Cody Bullock. He did hit the wall in that last incident with Gary Wells, so that's probably what he's getting damaged, repaired. But now with going to come around to 11 to go, this heavyweight championship bout is entering the final round. Frederick's in the lead, 30 lap old tires, Rambler on freshies. McAdory and Grills both with fresh tires, and we're all going to be racing for the race win. Fredericks and Rambler down for the championship. Rambler to the inside. Grills takes a spin. Grills with a hard hit to the inside wall. That'll be his day. Green flag remains. He'll jump to the pit lane. Rambler now out front. Fredericks got his work cut out for him. To the outside. Who will McAdory go with? We seem to be nearly impossible to pass the leader. Rambler in a good spot right now. Fredericks doing all they can. These two have been the best two drivers all season long, and it's going to come down to the final lap. Side by side into turn 3. Fredericks just can't carry the momentum. Rambler down on that apron a little bit, doesn't want to do that. Fredericks trying his best. Get alongside of him, but can't get around him. Grills back out on the track, 3 laps down as here comes Fredericks. You see him trying to work that side draft right down wheel to wheel with Rambler. McAdory trying to work with Fredericks. Fredericks maybe trying to back up a little bit to get an even more significant run. To the outside. Rambler defends the bottom. 5 to go. Fredericks trying to find that perfect run. He's going to have to go to the apron down the front stretch. He's going to have to risk it. 4 laps to go. I think that's your only move here. But he's not going to be able to do it on the last lap. Rambler's sure to defend the bottom. Fredericks still working that outside line. final 2 laps, side by side across the line. Fredericks with a good run, but it's just not going to be enough on the outside line. Rambler coming around, turn 4. White flag in the air. Fredericks continuing to work the outside line. You got to think there's something here, some sort of attack. He's got to try and make it. He's a 10th back. He may be too far. A big run. He takes it to the outside, side by side. Rambler wins. Fredericks 0.03, but a big attempt at the end. McAdory will come home third. Grills, the only other car running, 3 laps down in 4th. What an exciting finish. I think if Fredericks jumps to the inside there, he may have had a better shot at it. But man, what a finish to not only this race, but to the season. This championship came down to the final few feet. When you race a season this long and it comes down to the final few feet, that's a complete success. Scott Rambler, your winner. Scott Rambler, your Gulf Coast champion. Let's take a word from our other finishers coming home third tonight. Joe McAdory. Let's get a word with the 312. Hey, Joe, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Hello.
Hey, Joe, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man, a fantastic run. You come home third. It seen you and Simon Grills really battling it out for a long time there for the lead. Looked like it was hard to pass on the outside. How was that race for you tonight?
I kept trying to take him on the outside, just trying to make it work. After like an hour of trying it, I guess I gave up on that, but it was fun while it lasted.
There with about 10 or 15 laps to go, we got that final caution, and you guys had gotten about 7 seconds behind with the pit strategy, but able to catch back up there. What did you think in those final few laps? Did you think you were going to try be able to get around Rambler and Fredericks for the lead?
No, in fact, I went ahead and told everyone. I said, it's you guys' race, your championship. I mean, I've only been in 3 or 4 races this year. I was just going to sit back and watch. If they wreck each other, that's fine too. But I wasn't even going to try because it's, like I said, I've only been in 3 or 4 races, and I felt like it's more of their league. And no, I wasn't worthy of even trying it. So I'm going to sit back and watch it happen.
Well, a fantastic run. You got anybody you'd like to thank after a great final race here this season?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Joe and Cody and Gary, all you guys, Gulf Coast for putting this season on. It's given me another avenue for racing Indy cars. Well, I'm basically been doing a lot of stock car stuff lately, and and thank you guys for broadcasting too, and everyone else in the league. It's been a great show. I've enjoyed it, really have.
Well, thank you, Joe, and hopefully we'll be seeing you around some more IndyCar races.
I hope so. That's what I really like.
All right, you have a good one, man.
All right, thank you. Bye.
That was third place finisher Joe McAdory. Let's get a word from Dalton Fredericks, our runner-up. Hey, Dalton, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, you came so close there at the end. had a big run there coming to the line. What were your thoughts there on trying to get around Rambler there on that last lap?
Yeah, I knew I had to build up a run in 3 and 4. I had timed it perfectly, and I think it was with 3 or 4 to go. Uh, so I had an idea of what I needed to do, and then on the final lap, someone in the party was like, "Hey, you need to wait a little longer, or hold back a little longer to get a bigger run." And I should have just not listened to it and did what I did on lap or 3 to go. But it is what it is. Uh, I'm happy for Scott. He deserves it. I mean, he is super experienced. He knows everything about everything with the Indy cars and NASCAR and basically anything he drives. So, uh, and plus, it took him 4 races to miss. He had to miss 4 races or so for me to even get to where I was or where I am to be able to compete for the championship. But no, it was a fun race overall.
Yeah, well, he may have missed 4 races, but you really put together a lot of good runs in those races to be able to be in that good spot. And you and Rambler pit strategy there at the end got way ahead, about 7 seconds. What were your thoughts when that final caution come out?
Yeah, we were both pretty bummed about it because we were way out in front of the field, and it was just going to be us two at the finish, and we weren't going to have to worry about anyone behind us possibly wrecking us at the end. But I mean, after the restart, we were still able to pull ahead. I know we had one guy that still tagged along behind us, but he left it up to us to fight for the race win because he knew the situation. So I believe that was Joe McAdory. So hats off to him for letting us race for the championship there at the end.
Yeah, and it's been just such a great season for you. You've come a long way, certainly fast at the beginning of the season, but really you and Rambler head and shoulders above everybody else here towards the second half. You got anybody you'd like to thank after such a fantastic season here, Dalton?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Scott Rambler for helping me throughout the season, giving me pointers and helped me learn the car and certain situations. It helped out a lot. I'd also like to thank Joe Hutchings for the paint scheme and for being the host of these sessions and was the owner of the series. Now he is no longer the owner after the season, but thanks for Joe Hutchings for all that stuff. It's unfortunate that he only ran 20 laps and got wrecked out almost instantly. But thanks to him, thanks to Revline for the awesome car again. It was really fast. We kept it clean all day, and we were able to keep it there at the end. I'd like to thank Nerds for doing Nerds things, for sponsoring the cars. Excuse me. And I'd like to thank Sim Coaches for sponsoring the car as well. They still got the new load cell pedals out. They just came out about a month ago or a couple weeks ago. So go check them out. And thank you, Dakota, for broadcasting these races. They're fun to watch, and I hope tonight was a very exciting race.
Absolutely, and thanks to you for making my job a lot easier. A lot of exciting moments throughout the season. Congratulations to you, Dalton, on a great season. A little bit short, but I think you got a long road ahead of you of many wins.
Yep, and the key thing for me to take away from the season is how much I've learned and how much everyone has helped me throughout the season. So I wouldn't be here without them. So hopefully we'll see you next season and have a good time during the off season.
Sounds good, Dalton. You have a good one. And that was runner-up Dalton Fredericks. Let's get a word with our winner, Scott Ramler, and our champion, Scott Ramler. Hey, Scott, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
How you doing, Dakota?
Hey, doing good, man. An exciting finish there between you and Fredericks. Looks like you guys kind of laid back most of the race, and it was really on there at the end. You get a big, it's like a 7-second lead out of the pits, and a caution comes out, and everybody gets bunched back together. What were your thoughts when that caution come out?
Well, anybody that was in the race lobby can know that I keyed up and had some very choice words, because at that point it was down to just me and Dalton at the end, and I wasn't happy with the fact that somebody that's not racing for the win ends up getting together and causes an incident that ruins a green flag run to the championship. But ultimately it came down between us again. I have to give real props to Joe McAdory. He came on the radio with, I think it was like 2 laps after the start, or after the restart, and said, "This is between you guys. You go settle the championship. I'm just going to hang back." And that was a really classy move from him, so I have to thank him a lot for that, because it brought it down to what it really should have been, was a battle between me and Dakota, or me and Dalton. Holy crap. I'm out there battling you in my own head.
Oh, Lord, I hope not. I'm not very good at the Indy cars. But, yeah, you get out there, and you two did settle it at the end. And coming off that final turn, you know, Fredericks was kind of hanging up on the outside. You kind of knew that he was going to have a run at some point, but coming off that final turn, he gets to your outside and almost nudges you there at the end, but a .03 difference. What were your thoughts there on that last lap and trying to defend that final run?
Actually, in my mind, it was decided the second I got beside him on the restart. I had the better tires here. If you want to gain any sort of run on the car in front of you, you have to be right in their tire tracks. You have to take the run and be able to run right in the tire tracks through the center of the corner and try to slingshot off. And it seemed like Dalton wasn't able to hold the bottom of the racetrack very well. So it came down to playing mind games. I had to nudge him up the track a little bit and get him up out of the groove, make him start rethinking his turn-in points for the corner. And as soon as I started playing those games, it was done.
Yeah, in a fantastic run. You guys played it safe most of the race. Earlier in the race, Bullock spins, and you, I'm not sure what happened, if you locked it up or what, thinking that Bullock was going to come back up the track, but you slide into the side of him. Did you have to take your fast repair there, and what were your thoughts the rest of the race, trying to be extra safe?
Yeah, I did have to take my fast repair there, and I saw him clip the apron or whatever transpired, because they were all wadded up in front of me, and he spun down to the inside. I'm like, okay, he'll be able to lock it down, that's fine. And then I see his nose flip, and he starts coming back up the racetrack. And when I went to hit the brakes, I had so much rear brake bias dialed in that it instantly locked the inside left tire and just sent me for a ride. There was nothing I could do. Yeah, it was just an overreaction to his mistake. Thankfully, he held the brakes fairly well, didn't slide too much further back up on the track, but it was looking like he was going to fly across the racetrack at full speed, and I would have been collected anyway. That's why I reacted the way that I did. But yeah, that mistake cost me my fast repair, and from there I was just trying to maintain in the back, save some fuel, and run as clean as possible to the end to try and set up this finish.
Well, a fantastic recovery for not only the race win, but the championship. After this fantastic season, you got anybody you'd like to thank, and a final race win here?
Absolutely. Want to thank Joe Hutchings for putting everything on. He's been absolutely incredible through this entire process. Want to thank Gary for doing our adminning stuff, and especially once we get a bigger set of cars out here, he's up in the tower watching everything instead of being out here racing with us. Hopefully next season we can get quite a few more cars on the track so that we can have a bit more fun with more than just 10 people at any given race. But still an incredible season, had some great battles. And want to thank all my sponsors with Revline and Team Revline themselves. Got to thank Mall Energy, McConey Setup Shop for sponsoring me specifically. Nerds Doing Nerd Things, Coffee Labs, Aim One, and Resurgence Apparel. Thank you guys for coming on board. It's been a hell of a season, and I'm glad to finally bring this home with a fantastic W.
Absolutely. Well, great race, a great season, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again very soon there, Scott.
All right, see you, Dakota. Thanks, man.
See you, man. That was Scott Ramler, our champion. We heard a lot of thanks there to Joe Hutchings. Joe comes home third in the season standings, and he has run this league, done a phenomenal job all season. Let's get a word with Joe Hutchings before we get out of here. Hey, Joe, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
I do, Dakota. How are you doing?
Hey, doing good. A rough night tonight. I think you only got 21 laps in, but phenomenal season as you come home third in the standings. And every one of our interviews, everybody was thanking you for running such a good league. What are your thoughts on this season overall, not only as the third place finisher, but as the league administrator?
Well, I got to thank everybody that was part of this league. Simon Grills, Cody Bullock, Gary Wells, Brayton Laster, all my admins, they were fantastic. Scott and Dalton, they did a fantastic job, and everybody else that came to come race with us, they, we tried to put on as best a show as possible with the limited amount of people we have. Next year, we'll, try to work on recruiting a little bit better and get more people out here. But finishing third, I'm kind of surprised with the clientele that we race with. At least the people that show up all the time. It's pretty hard to gain points all the time. And when you had probably about the worst luck that I could possibly have in a season, finishing third, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I saw you in one of our private chats post a picture of the weather app, Weather Radar. Was you missing the start? Was that weather related, or something happened to your computer?
Nope, that is completely hardware. It was a complete hardware malfunction. I couldn't get on for nothing, and then I finally was able to qualify, and then my computer decided to restart itself. It took 20 laps for me to get back on, and I'm pretty sure the broadcast shows the rest of the story on that one. I've already gotten my apology from Simon Grills, by the way, so we're all good on that one. But yeah, I think my computer has demons in it right now because it knows it's getting replaced. So it got the last laugh on me tonight.
So next season we can expect some more horsepower from the CPU of Joe Hutchings.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, you got anybody else you'd like to thank after this great season?
Dakota, I gotta thank you, man. You've done a wonderful job for us all season long. You helped out with our rescheduling in the middle of the season. You hung around for an entire Indianapolis 500 and an entire Chicagoland 300-mile race. So thank you very much. I gotta thank Nerds Doing Nerds Things and AJ Kapala, Revline, Mission 22, and I know I'm forgetting a bunch of other people, but I'm pretty sure my teammates have already covered all those other people. Sim coaches, definitely. And I'm not going to plug my company because everybody knows who I am. So anyways, Dakota, thank you very much, and we'll see you next season, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I've worked with several leagues throughout my iRacing career. You're definitely one of the easier guys to work with, so appreciate you for running this league and doing a great job at it. And hopefully we'll see you next season.
Alrighty, yes, definitely. Thank you.
Have a good one. and that was Joe Hutchings, our third place finisher for the season. Didn't have the night he wanted tonight, but he'll come home third for the season. Scott Ramler edges out Fredericks by .03 for the championship. And congratulations, Scott Ramler, to winning that. Great season. A lot of great moments throughout this season. A lot of good road course racing, oval racing, a great mix. It was a great schedule. I'm excited to see what these guys do next. And we're going to be out on this one. And it was a great season, and hopefully we'll catch you somewhere soon. We'll let you know all that stuff very soon, but appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we will catch you all on the next one.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Mission 22 is dedicated to unite the country in the war against veteran suicide. Bringing our veterans home is every American's job. Ambassadors are creating impact in their community across the country. Mission 22 has comprehensive treatment programs for post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury at no cost to veterans. This is an American issue. No matter where you stand, there's a place for your support. Visit Mission 22.